Good afternoon, Drawing Club. How are you? So today you are going to work on our activity, which will be drawing lips by a step-by-step tutorial. And that is going to be our last feature to our face. And next week, we're going to put it all together. But today you're going to work on this. However, there will be no live meet. The live meet will be tomorrow from 3:15 to 3:45 if you'd like to show me your progress and work on it a little more. Now, when you finish the lips, I would suggest, just like when you did the nose, to do different types of shapes with the lips. I kind of show you in the video how to do one type of shape, but I suggest you look at your lips, you look at the people in your household, their lips, and try different shapes, just like you did with the nose. Try to do different things. And then what you can do after you're done doing the lips is you can, fool around with adding a nose above it. All right. But we're going to put it all together in a face next week. And I'm so excited to see how yours turn out. All right. After we did all this tutorial work together. So have a great day. Enjoy this drawing lips tutorial, and I will see you tomorrow at 3:15 if you like. All right, when you're done, please upload a picture of it so I can see how far you got. All right, see you later. All right, so the last thing I am going to take you through is how to draw the lips. And the lips are pretty cool. Again, we're gonna get past how we used to draw lips, which is people do a nice hard line like this, and then they go up like this, and then down like that, which seems like, a regular pair of lips. But there's things about lips that I don't think we notice unless we really dig deeper and look at them. So to draw lips, you will first do a line here, and then a line on the other side, just like that. You see that? Okay. And then what you're gonna do is you will draw a very light line across, come to the center of those lines, and just kind of do little dots up and little dots down. So that's going to be our starting point. Okay, so from this line to this line, we are going to draw our bottom lip. Now, lips are of all different shapes and sizes, so we're just kind of going to do a standard one for this example. But then you would obviously, when you do lips, always just look at what you're drawing and break it up like I did. And now for our Cupid's bow, we're going to do this right in the center, just kind of like that. And then also repeat that right there in the center. Okay. This helps our lips become even by doing it that way. And then like that. So again, just this drawing of lips are different than this original one. All right, this is more realistic and also more symmetrical. Now that our lips are drawn out, I want you to start shading in the bottom lip first. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give it an entire value. So let's color the whole bottom lip using one stroke. Try to keep those pencil strokes together very lightly. Okay. And then once we do that, we're gonna take our tissue or a blending stump and just get a nice baseline, a nice base. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to do this upward motion from the bottom. Short little pencil lines, just kind of swooping up, going with the lip. If you look closely at your lips, you're gonna see that there's lines, little fine lines just coming up. So I'm gonna move that up closer so you can see. See my little lines that I'm doing? So do that all along the bottom, just a little swoop up. Almost like our eyelashes that a couple weeks ago, where it's like this little J with the longer hook on the back. All right, when you're doing this side, you're gonna do it the opposite direction of the J. So do that. And make sure in that corner you press a little darker. But keep doing that. And then come back with your blending stick and blend it out a little. And then what you're gonna do is, you're gonna do it again. Crazy, right? But this is the way to make realistic lips, so we're gonna do it. So I'll keep doing that and be right back. All right, so if you look nice and close, you can see those lines. Now what we're gonna do is this top lip is gonna cast a shadow onto this bottom lip. So we're gonna do the same thing. First, we're going to just kind of draw it in there. And as you get closer to the rounding of the lip, you're going to press lighter. Get a nice shadow in there first. And then take your tissue and blend that out. Don't worry about that top lip, we can come back for that one. Okay, and now we're gonna do the same type of lines, just curving toward the bottom. So it gives like this rounded off look because your lips do have a roundness to them. Let me bring that up so you can see what I mean. See those tiny lines? If I can see those? Yeah, that's what we want. So I'll keep doing that and I'll be right back. So I did that to the top part. I brought these little shapes in. You can see these lines. Now I can take a nice sharpened pencil and every once in a while just do almost a line all the way through. Like that. Okay, like right here. And then what I can do is I like to put in this little highlight. So I'll take my eraser and just put a little highlight somewhere on the lip. Just like that. And then I'll go like this, blend it out so it's not as strong, and then do a couple more of those lines just over it. Pretty good, right? All right, so next thing we're gonna do is on the top, we're going to shade the whole thing again like we did on the bottom. So I will do that and be right back. All right, so I shaded it, so now I'll take my tissue and just kind of make it that even value of a nice light gray. All right, and now I will start at the top. And first I will just bring it down a little bit, pressing harder and then bringing it down lighter to create that value change. And it gives you a nice little outline of the lip. And I'll be right back. So once I have this darker part here, I will then again blend it down. And what I just did was, in between this, I went over to a mirror and I looked at my lips. And the reason I did that was it's because my lips are gonna show the same shadow that I'm doing here. So I kind of tried to look at it and I realized that this part here needed to be a little bit darker. Just this little swoop here. It's almost like a little upside down rainbow. And I'm just gonna make that darker here, just like this, with those lines. And already you could see that that kind of makes it look more realistic. All right, so getting back to those lines. Now we're gonna do it from the top. Swooping down to the center. Thin and thick, keep layering. This is what we are doing. Okay, and again, come back with this, blend it out a bit. You won't lose all of the lines, just some of them, but that's what you want. And now from here, coming up from the bottom and meeting those lines. I'm not doing it here because this little piece of the lip I feel like needs to be accentuated. So we're gonna just do that like that. And now we have this really nice upper lip, which can also have some type of highlight if you want, just maybe a little bit less than the bottom. Do those lines again. And what I'm gonna do is now start to turn it up a bit by pressing hard, getting underneath this, because this is where it's gonna be the darkest, underneath this lip, creating that shadow. Look at those lips. I love it. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about darker shadows. So come on back. All right, we're back. The beauty of making a video and editing. What we're going to do now is underneath this bottom lip, I'm going to start to press hard with my pencil. And just here, I am going to make a nice bottom lip shadow. So we start here and we come out a little bit. We'll do a shadow here, just kind of in the corner of the mouth and here. Okay, now we'll take our tissue again and blend that out. The idea of blending is, and when we do this stuff realistically, we want different values. So we want a nice dark value that we can identify, a medium value like a light gray, and then obviously our highlights. But we want to be able to identify those specific values so you see some changes, because if they all look like a shade of gray, just one light shade of gray, you're not going to have any contrast, any pop. Okay, and then finally we're going to do this. I'm going to do a little bit of shadow right here above the lip, just like that, almost like a triangle above the lip. You see that? And then I'll blend it out. And there you go. Now what's really cool is I have my nose from before. So this is what I'm gonna do. Look at that, isn't that cool? All right, so after you do your lips, and you work on them and you practice them and you do different shapes just like you did your nose, you can start trying to put it all together in a sketch. But next week is when we are going to put everything together and make a face. All right? So I will see you in a second. All right, so mess around with different lips, different shapes of the bottom and the top. When you're really good, you find yourself saying, oh, I really get this, I understand it. You know, start to add that nose in. You could play around with adding eyes in if you want to keep going, but I do want you to know that then next week, we're putting it all together. So if you don't feel like putting it all together yet, that's fine, but know that that's our plan for next week. And I guarantee you, if you kept that original drawing of, you know, your person a couple weeks ago and you compare it to now, next week, it's going to be really cool. All right. So work on lips today. All right. The shadows, taking your time, adding the highlights, looking at your own lips in the mirror just to see where the grooves are and the shapes and things like that. And I will see you on a Google Meet if you want to show me your progress tomorrow at 3:15. All right. Sound good? I'm really excited to see you then. Bye.